Okay.
By saving everybody else.
There we are. Welcome, everybody, to another session of the Pathfinding Adventures with the Black Bushes. We're not going to spend any more time. We're going to jump straight into the recap of what the Rusty Hedges were doing the last session, starting with Marisol.
Yeah, so last time we started as the battle died down. We were all tired and dirty and having done a lot of stuff. I had a very nice conversation with Medor before we all gathered in the magical hot springs made by our Edemir. Then we were called for a war council to plan our fighting in Ravensbridge. We have quite a few interesting ideas on how to get there, and we met some new people. Perhaps you can tell us more about it, Estrella?
Yeah, so Estrella was with Preacher and Zara out stalking down a necromancer during the battle. So after that they were called Night Stalkers. When we all returned and had the war council, Estrella was approached by Bruno, and yes, we talk about Bruno, and was promoted, I guess, or something, to an agent of Goldenlands, to the king. She received some really nice bracers with a lot of tools in it so that she can well use, hopefully. She also has the communication ring to talk to Bruno. So yeah, she got a nice upgrade on her equipment and forgot to ask a lot of questions that later came to her. So yeah. Then we were tasked to choose a route that we are going to take in the siege. We had 3 different possibilities, and Magnus can tell us more about the choose.
Okay. The first path goes through past an inn called the Brass Pot, where there is a portal managed by some group we haven't heard of, the Order of the Unobscured Teapot or something like that. Apparently they're having a lot of trouble with that. There's a lot of ghosts in that lane, and they appear to be led by the group's old friend Cal. The objective after that would be the orphanarium, where there's a lot of kids that need protecting. At the moment, there's a small dog-like figure with a lantern chasing them off. Next part goes through Temple Square, where there's a lot of undead that need chasing off. At the end of that route, we have the Sanctuary of Reflection, where there is a lot of deceased champions and people with a lot of power that we really don't want on the bad side. We had an extensive discussion about the third route, which I'm going to throw over to my fellow knight, Mado.
Yeah, well, trying to recall the third route. That was the Wizards, Wizards Tower, I believe, or area, leading up to, can't quite remember what. But I think we decided we're going to be going the tavern route, following Cal, since we're better equipped at fighting Ghost than most of the other groups, as we've been fighting them since day one, I guess. we were discussing this, and I guess he mentioned about our secret weapon walked in, and Lady Aberdeen has appeared, walking with a golden glow and everything. Yes, I did have a conversation with Marisol up on the tower, I believe. Then we both had kind of fell asleep. Let's see. No, we'll pass over to Preacher.
Thank you, thank you. Rewinding a little bit, I had a very long chat with my fellow Men of Clay, the small company that has suddenly grown quite substantially into a minor, well, a couple of platoons actually, of would-be monks. They are doing well, it seems, and I've given them the basics of a religion. I've talked to Shoggoth about this, and we will see more of that as they continue on, hopefully, if they manage to stay alive. I spent quite a bit of time talking to them and making sure they survived the morale hit, and I will, in the next morning, do more practice with them, I promised. The upcoming battle was planned as my fellows have already outlined, and not much to add on that, except that basically all of the lanes have to succeed, and we cannot split our efforts. Because if even one of them does not succeed, there will be a lot of hell to pay for it. For example, if the mid lane falls, the end of that is a large crypt area where a lot of the powerful people have been laid to rest, and having them turned into wights and arc knights and such, not a good idea. And then on the far lane, well, that's where they stored all of the magical stuff in the college, which is very, very bad as well. In the far right of that same lane, we also have a very peculiar tower, which I think may be the tower we housed in, and they are showing interest in that, the enemy, which is kind of unnerving. I don't know why. We chose to try and hunt down Cal and the ghostly people on the far left, but purely because there's also the risk of having a portal open in the inn. So we're trying to make sure that is shut. Although that whole piece of let's see if we can shut it is still a little bit unclear to Preacher. I'm not certain we can. The Master of Magic, Eody, might be able to answer this. Over to you.
Yeah, I spent most of the last session studying because we got new spells, and I feel like Eody would have to spend a lot of time learning those. And then there was the bit about he was so focused, they were like stacking coins on his head because he just wasn't paying attention. And then we did the 3-lane discussion where we talked about how we're going to siege the city and all that. And we hung up on the cliffhanger. And I'll throw it to Zara.
I have nothing noteworthy to add. I think everything has been covered. Anyone else need to go? Nope. Sounds like it's back to Shoggoth.
There we are then. Well, you've had yourselves a proper night of sleep. Actually, more than one. The army is finally done gathering up. It's the biggest army ever of you've ever seen, with almost 800 knights and probably 5 times that number of men at arms, archers, sappers, crossbowmen, pikemen, engineers, scouts, light cavalry, all sorts of shenanigans, in addition to the close to 2,000 mercenaries that have been hired up. But now that the army is on the move, the attacks, the constant attacks you've been facing while setting up and gathering up have faded away. So you've had 3 beautiful days of strolling through the countryside at a fair pace. Your company now being being quite honored, are in the vanguard of the mercenary column, so you don't get all of the dust from the road being kicked up in your face that everybody else further back in the column are getting. And it turns out that the men of clay have been proving to be quite the boon for you, as scouts and skirmishers and just a general vanguard, gathering up food, finding traps and small harassing forces of the enemy to deal with, and also bringing back every grapefruit they've come across as a tribute to Preacher.
Thank you.
That last bit's a bit of a mystery to you still. The last 3 days you've been marching a lot of peasants and also soldiers in general resting or coming in from patrols have been popped by Iodi to gift him either copper coins or, in some cases, from the nobles, silver, kitchenware, 1 donkey. Iodi's hoard is steadily growing, and now it's assorted knickknacks, in addition to 2 coins. 4 of the men of clay currently are walking behind the cart Iodi's riding in, carrying a grandfather clock that a local watchmaker has donated to Iodi for the protection of the dragon. But it is getting to be look like nighttime. And as you're heading up, you can see that the rest of the men of clay have sort of set up a camp for you, if not for the rest of the mercs. They'll have to camp around you. There's at least a fire going with a whole deer being rotisseried slowly over it. You're not entirely certain why, but the men of clay have also taken up barbecuing, in addition to the incessant hunt for grapefruit.
I may have to talk to my sergeant about this. This is unexpected.
But you can see that beds of fern and of fir branches have been gathered up and are ready for you as you ride up to the camp. The men of clay and other scouts and outriders are taking care of your horses, and yeah, you're now properly looking like proper nobles with people doing all your shit for you.
I don't feel comfortable with this.
Then go help.
I haven't instructed them on doing this, just to be clear.
I'm trying to help, but every time I try to do something, they just take it from me.
Aye, I had to warn one of the lads about Etienne. He tried to step on both his feet at the same time.
I don't know what y'all are talking about. I love this. I want like 2 of the men of clay to be like just giving me pets constantly.
I'm making sure that the grapefruit is distributed evenly to people who might look like they need a bit of extra vitamins.
Very well. What are the rest of you doing? I know some of you have scenes you want to play out. This is the time to do that sort of thing.
Yeah, I have to get up my notes. Estrella would look for Bruno.
That's easier said than done. But you do get a note from him that he will be arriving later. But he's currently investigating something that's looking a bit
Yeah.
finny.
Then she is going over to Marisol Marisol, could you maybe help me with my hair? I would like to cut it.
Of course.
Yeah, after the last battle, it was so hard to get the blood out, so shorter would be better, I guess.
Sure. How short do you want it?
Just right above the shoulder?
Okay. I'll start by braiding it then. Then I can just cut it off around here, and then we can fix it from there.
Sounds good.
You're gonna hear from somewhere. You think it's hard to get blood out of your hair? Try having fur all over your body.
You got it petted out. Don't be complaining now. And there was the pool. The hot spring. A good soak in that, did you want it?
I'm just gonna ignore them, braid your hair, and then you're sure?
I'm sure, go ahead.
Then I snip it off. And start to just cut it so that it's not just straight and looks kind of okay around here on you.
You can see her just sometimes doing this motion with her hand, like flipping it back over her shoulder, but oh yeah, right.
That's gonna take some getting used to. I used to do this for my sisters back home.
Well, thank you.
Can you turn around for me? Then I'll see if it's correct in the back.
Yeah, sure. And she turns around.
Looking good. Just taking a small snip at the edge there. I think that'll do.
Thank you.
You look nice.
Yeah, that feels a lot lighter as well. And no, it's not a bob.
And I want to call Vidkun over.
Yeah, he skitters over to you. Yes, master.
I'm going to put my paw on him and be like, this is really important. I need you not to resist this spell. Otherwise, I will eat you.
Yes, master.
I'm going to cast Modified Memory on him.
Oh, okay. Well, he's not resisting.
And I'm going to modify his memory so that he has like this memory of me with this great sense of admiration, with a tinge of fear of getting eaten, but of him pledging that I'm his only master and he'll never do anything to harm me or the party or spy on us. And then I want to erase the memory of him or me ever asking him to come over and let me cast a spell on him.
Very well. Pretty dang good. Oh, yes, master. What a wonderful day.
Ah,
I
yes,
love
it's
it.
great, ain't it?
It was truly the greatest day of my life.
You better go get some rest. We got a long day tomorrow.
Yes, master. He's gonna go, he goes to sleep.
And then I'm gonna go over to Yodi and I have my star orb. And then the cryolite eye. I'm gonna be like just knocking them around, playing like little marble games with them. And I'm gonna hold up the cryolite eye to my eye and look at Yodi with it and be like, "Hey, what do you think this does?"
Yodi's just staring at this pile of random shit on the grandfather clock and shaking his head. He looks over at Edamir and he's like, "What is this that you are showing me?"
I don't know. It was in our bag. But I'm looking through the cryolite eye.
Do I have any idea what this is?
You do have an idea of what this is. It's an interesting magical item for sure. That to get this thing to work, you basically need to tear your eye out and then place the cryolite eye in the empty socket. But that'll let you see through illusions more easily. However, it's been known that some of these eyes are connected to powerful outsiders or other creatures that can sometimes overwhelm the cryolite eye and actually make you see all sorts of weird and horrid stuff.
So Iodi immediately covers up the eye while Ed's like pointing it at him. Little fox friend, you do not know what toy you are playing with. You will point this away from me this minute.
But what is it?
This is an eyeball, little fox. You could pluck your own out and replace it. It would give you some magical powers. Also, there might be a devil or demon or something that could potentially control you because of this.
Could you help me remove one of my eyes?
Are you asking Iodi to pluck your eyeball out of your head?
Yes.
Can I eat it after I'm done?
Sure.
I am not good at medicine, you may die.
I'll be fine.
I will do this.
Oh dear. Yeah. Roll unarmed damage for Iodi as he just kind of reaches his claws in and yoinks that eye out.
I don't even know how to do unarmed damage. Was that like a D4? Yeah.
Probably.
Yes.
2 damage.
Yeah, it hurts like the dickens. Iodi
Ow!
basically managing to have hit every large blood vessel and nerve around as he just claws that eye out.
Thought you'd be good at this with those claws you got.
Sit still, little vermin. I am not done yet.
And then comes the fun connecting part. Do an Arcana for that one. Woo! Yeah, Iodi places the cryolite eye in, and it very, very quickly kind of the empty eye socket grows over it. You can see Edamir blinking over that eye as it starts to focus. You see the pupil, slit pupil, as it focuses, forms into an hourglass. A black hourglass on a deep green with some hints of purple mist background.
You are very unsettling now, little fox.
That wasn't too bad. This is kind of nice.
Yes. I ate the eyeball.
Nom nom. It is it is tasty. Like Arctic fox is definitely now one of your favorite foods.
Woe be to you if you ever are to die, little fox. I believe I will eat you when this happens.
Such is the nature of the natural world. It's fine.
It wasn't very crunchy, I must say. Very satisfying. I would recommend this.
And I will pounce away and just explore with my cryolite eye. This is nice.
Yeah. One of the first things you notice is that Estrella's got a weird kind of broken-looking tattoo around the eye that she can't see out of properly. Kind of pulsing with magic, although you see that the flow of the magic is broken. But it is unhealthy for her, and that sort of fidgeting with her body's flow of natural energies is going to be damaging in the long run.
I'm gonna go up to her and be like, maybe you should have Iodi check out that eye. He did wonders on mine. She's eyeing him suspiciously. Yeah, that magic
eye tattoo thing you got going on that's kind of broken.
How do you know about that suddenly?
Yodi upgraded my eye, see?
Don't tell anyone.
But why?
Because, little fox, you are just big enough for a nice little meal.
I know you want to eat me. Besides, I'm trying to help. Yodi might be able to fix it. He's good with tattoos and things.
I will not let him do anything to my eye.
Your loss. Doesn't look that healthy, though. Just saying. And I'll wander off.
Yeah, as Edmir walks off, Estrella can feel the skin around her eye kind of tighten and feel like a bit warmer and more tender than the rest of her face. For just a moment before the cramp lets go and she feels herself again.
She is kind of unconsciously touching it for a moment before quickly looking around if someone saw.
Yeah, she can hear. Madame, you should do as the tiny foxman says. As Bruno steps out from behind a lamp pole.
You have to show me how you do that.
Once we have the time, I will do my utmost to train you up to the standard of the talents. I believe you have a great natural ability. You could be a fantastic agent given proper training. Such a shame your former masters were, well, just not good at developing their own talent.
They're very, very much interested in it.
Well, when you are an undying draconic necromancer, I guess. Developing the talents of somebody who will only live for maybe 70, 80 years is just not very interesting. Must seem like a waste of time after a couple of millennia.
That would have been a rather high age to reach. But yeah. Whatever. What do you know about this magic?
The eye. I'm no connoisseur of arcane energies, but I have read up on injured magical tattoos. They can disrupt the flow of your body's own natural energies and cause unwanted growths of flesh inside your body that could ultimately kill you. The tattoo on your wrist, though, I think would be more important to get your draconic friend to look at.
Yeah, well, that is definitely new. I don't know where it came from.
Me neither, but I have an item on me that vibrates in the presence of evil magic, and I will tell you right now, it goes absolutely crazy.
Wait.
It comes close to that tattoo of yours.
Wait, you have one as well? Is it like a little doll?
Once we get to know each other better, I might answer that question. But for now, let's just trust me that I have this in my possession, and it is going slightly crazy whenever your arm reaches out towards me and that tattoo comes closer. I don't know what that is, but I'm pretty certain we don't want it to be completed.
Yeah, doesn't sound like a good idea about that. But coming back to the training to be an agent, is there something like a coded language or science or something that I have to learn?
There are. Once this situation in Ravensbridge has been resolved, I don't think the Marquis will keep on very many very expensive mercenaries for long. I will see if we can't find you a contract in Crac de Chevalier so that you can get the time to train, and perhaps I can nudge some other individuals of importance to take on some of your fellows to develop their natural talents as well.
Well, it is a place I wanted to go anyway, so that fits.
I don't know much about our enemy yet, not as much as I would like, but I don't think, even should we win the day in Ravensbridge, that it would be, this will be over. The three that are one seems to be a new religion spreading like wildfire throughout the ranks of the undead. More and more are crowding to join them. Of course, the followers of the Death Lord, they've started cracking down on and trying to kill any followers of the three that are one, or the mistresses, they're also called, but we don't know much. Don't know much about them yet. They're very good at keeping their own secrets. It's a religion for sure, but the ones we've managed to capture are insane.
Yeah.
Insane, and at least from our point of view, well, they're undead, so, but they're also insanely fanatical. Magical questioning has not worked so far.
How
Either they don't know, which would be, how do you make somebody follow a religion they don't know anything about? It doesn't make sense. Or the mistresses grant some sort of protection from.
mind washing seems to be the most logical reason there. But how far does the information network spread anyway? You seem to get information extremely fast.
I'm sorry. Yeah, kind of holds its had a hand up to its ear, and you can see a bee kind of buzzing there for a little while before it flies off.
I guess you're...
What were you asking?
how far is the information network spread out? You're getting information really fast, and can I access it as well?
Once you've been through some of the rituals of our order, you'll be able to access some of it. Not too much at one time. It's not safe for an agent to know too much, especially not about things going on outside of their own area. But you could think of the talents as, well, we're not a knightly order per se, but it's equally important to a kingdom to have good agents to get information and to analyze it as it is to have somebody who can go act on that information, be it knights, mercenaries, court wizards, merchants.
Yeah, better have eyes and ears everywhere, right? But you said rituals?
Yes, there are some some arcane investments, you could say.
Well,
I'm
don't
not
take
a
it the...
sorcerer, but I have been given some magical ability when it comes to communication and gathering information.
Yeah, don't take it the wrong way, but I'm not exactly a fan of any rituals that involve me.
Well, if it's any consolation to you, madame, these rituals will make you more difficult to control. Your mind will be strengthened. Your inner self will become more clear to you so that you can withstand both torture and magical questioning or attempts to dominate you magically. It's an ancient art, learned from, first developed by the gnomes of the First Empire. It's not magic as such, but more honing your own spiritual ability and power. Just don't. Well, there can be side effects if you delve too deeply in it without a skilled teacher. Speaking of side effects, you are going up the road with all of the ghosts.
Yeah.
The Knight of the Graveyard of Roses, that is in that path somewhere. You need to find him and find out what information he has about this. The mistresses and, well, seems the mistresses have some rather powerful champions fighting on their side as well. Maybe enough to even rival Grimaldus or some of our greatest knights in a one-on-one fight. Should you encounter one of these champions, well, you may be able to beat them, but it is important that you at least gather as much information as you can and try to survive.
I will sure try to. But what's this knight's name that I'm supposed to find? And how can I recognize him?
The only information I have so far is that he's of darker skin, wields a curved sword of some sort. You must understand, the Graveyard Roses in many ways are not too different from us. They shroud themselves in secrecy, working as agents of their goddesses. It is unhealthy to be well known and have your name spread far and wide when breaking into vampire castles is one of your job descriptions.
She just gives a dry chuckle on that comment.
Speaking of, I must be off. I will see you hopefully again soon. Tomorrow this assault on Ravensbridge starts. Make certain you're ready. You can hear somebody in metal armor walking up. He gives Estrella sort of a wink, and then he walks in behind that lamppost, which is just a spear with a lantern hung on it, and doesn't come out on the other side.
He really has to show me that trick.
And Sarah comes walking in.
There you are, Estrella. Sometimes you are quite difficult to find.
Comes with
Nobody
the job,
in
I
camp
guess.
had any idea where you were hiding.
Thanks for the compliment.
Anyways, in order to ensure that nobody else can find you, she rummages through this bag that she's carrying that's clunking with a bunch of stuff. She pulls out a pair of boots and throws them on the ground in front of you. A pair of magical boots of be even sneakier. Elven kind, I believe, is the normal nomenclature. And then also, this one could be useful to you. And she pulls out this spiked chain where it appears to be decorated like roses and thorns. This is a weapon that might come in handy, since everything we seem to fight either comes from hell or the grave.
No? What effect does it have?
Normally it's just like a normal striking chain, but it also has a disrupting roof carved in it. It'll glow like a torch. Not that you need to be quite so bright, but if you do manage to score an exceptional hit, it'll cast searing light on the target that you strike. If it's a fiend or undead, so quite good at eliminating those particular creatures.
Would that also work against the ghosts?
Ghosts are undead.
Great. It's always good to have more than one weapon that can affect them. Although I'm not sure about the boosts. I mean, I am already pretty sneaky and mine make me quite fast.
Well, consider it, and then should you decide that you're not interested, then we can find someone else who's interested in wearing them.
All right, thank you very much.
But aside from you and I, not many in the party actually do much aggressive sneaking.
True enough.
Anyways, I'm off to go hand out more goodies. Oh, one other thing. A headband. Just gotta pull a headband out. Should make you a little hardier.
That is certainly something I can use. And she ties it immediately.
And then Zara's gonna gather a bag up and wander off to find someone else.
All right. Who's Sarah going looking for next?
Let's go with Preacher.
Yeah. What is Preacher doing, Moza?
Depending on what time of day it is, but if it's early in the morning, likely I will be having one-on-one talks with my man of clay after a long session of training.
Oh, it's evening now. You said you fairly recently arrived within the last hour to your camp.
Right. In that case, I probably will be sitting and contemplating stuff, past day and the coming days, quietly.
Right. So Preacher's doing his mystical monk stuff.
Yep.
As Zara walks up to him.
Well, I know you don't sleep, but are you actually there?
Oh, yes. Trying to restructure memories that have been bubbling up. What can I help you with?
Oh, we've got some items that came from our contributions the other night,
Ah,
and I'm distributing them like the merry band of, I don't know, someone up north used to give out gifts.
shouldn't you be wearing something in red as well then?
I've got red on my clothing.
Not blood.
She looks down and her clothing shimmers into shades of red.
Excellent. What, pray tell, do you come offering?
Well, I have this scroll, and if you place it under your eyes and press it on, it'll impart a tattoo under your skin or clay. Might be something
And
that you're interested in.
yeah, I don't like the stuff that has been happening with us. So if that helps me to detect stuff, absolutely, I accept the scroll.
I'm not certain that it'll help you detect much, um, but it does let you shoot lasers out of your eyes. So
Ah, I remember another of my brothers had that ability.
also got a belt here that you might be interested in. It's between you and I, or maybe Magnus.
Interesting. I have a similar belt, but this looks to be of finer quality.
Well, swap me up.
Absolutely. I hand you the belt that I'm currently wearing, which is a lesser version of that, with +1 instead of the +2s. Thank you very much. This should help quite a lot.
I think that's all, unless you want this buzzsaw axe, and she pulls out an axe with a saw blade on it.
No, I don't see a reason to dismember much at the moment, but thank you for the offer.
How about some boots of flying?
That could be useful, actually. If nobody else is interested, I can hold on to them.
I'm actually going to insist that you take these boots.
Okay, thank you then. Yeah, we will be scaling a fortress wall, so I mean, having a bit of extra boost never hurts.
Yep. Anyways, enjoy defragging those memories, and I wish best of luck to you.
Not sure what that is, but I will try. And I will also have something to contemplate here as well. I think I might have to talk to Aodia about these tattoos things. Yeah.
He seems quite handy at, well, quite a great deal of things. So I don't know that I'd ever go to see him for any kind of medical work, though.
What's happened to you?
What do you mean? What's happened to me?
I mean, since that comment is obviously what you made.
Oh well, we've all been stabbed a few times, and he's got quite a brisk bedside manner. I think I'd like somebody a little more tender.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I see where you're going with that. I don't fancy having the burn method of closing wounds if I was of blood and flesh.
Quite, and that seems to be his go-to method.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I will contemplate these items now.
I think up next is Marisol.
Yeah, what's Marisol doing?
Sneaking out of camp. Like a teenager, doing something she's not supposed to.
Oh dear. Well, in that case, the next one that Zara finds is Mador. What's Mador doing?
Oh, sitting back and leaning against a tree and kind of got my gauntlet off, looking at my missing fingers and keep on like looking off in the distance, trying to figure out when, how, where, and what's going on with Cal, and the person who thinks she's Cal. So, and trying to avoid Lady Aberdeen as much as I can.
Very well. It's fairly easy to avoid her currently, as she's with the Marquise group further up ahead, probably half an hour more of marching. But yeah, you've realized you won't be able to avoid her forever.
I'm gonna try.
Fair enough. So yeah, that's what he's doing. He's sitting there being contemplative as Zara finds him.
Hello, Mador.
Hello, Zara. Good evening to you.
I don't have much in the way of goodies for you in this particular bag of goodies. But I don't think anyone else is going to want this axe, and it might be something that you can find a use for at some point. She's going to hand him the buzzsaw axe. Have you seen our fearless captain? She seems to be running away.
Did I have to catch her since I've been keeping an eye on her ever since all the attacks been going on?
Let me check what your passive perception is compared to her passive sneaking.
I'm trying not
Well-
to be too observant on Marisol, but I am keeping a close eye on her.
Yeah, you've had yourself. You're pretty certain that she's over in the mess tent.
Last I saw her head to the mess tent.
Well, I guess I'll have to attempt to find her there. If you run into her and she hasn't seen me, let her know I'm looking for her.
I will do that, Zara.
Off I go to the mess tent.
Yeah, there's no Marisol there, but you do find Magnus and Iodi.
I will tell you this, Magnus. The finest food comes from the eyeball of the fox.
I've never tried fox eyeball, but I'll take your word for it, Master Iodi. They make it nice roast, though. You turn them very carefully over a slow fire. Wee bit of garlic rubbed into them, maybe a pinch of lemon on the flesh. It's a very nice meal. Goes better with wine, but it's difficult to find out in the wild.
Yes, if you want to take the time to cook it, this is true.
Well, the fox doesn't taste very nice unless you cook it. Well, except in your cell, of course. Your taste buds are different.
We will have to agree to disagree, my friend.
Indeed. I think we can agree on a sharing arrangement should some fox turn up.
Yes, we will deal with this when the time comes.
Hello, Zara. What can we do for you?
Well, neither of you are the person I was looking for. Have you seen our fearless captain? I've been looking all over camp for her, and I can't find her anywhere.
If I had to make a guess, I'd say she wants to be somewhere else at the moment. I
Don't we all?
Find her. Aye, but I think she's seeking out company. You know.
What do you mean? We are her company.
Never mind.
Let's
She's gone for a walk.
I have not seen her, Zara. She is, off doing her own thing, I think.
Well, I've got goodies in the goodie bag for her. You've mentioned seeing the fox lately. I'm going to ignore the rest of the conversation you had after that. Have you seen him recently?
Not since the eyeball was upgraded. If that's what we're calling it.
Would you say it is not? I think I did a fine job.
I'm not arguing about the workmanship, although I would have appreciated looking at him from a medical point of view afterwards. I'm arguing about the fact that eyeball's bloody creepy.
It is rather unsettling. The last time I saw the fox, I believe he was chasing his tail in the main center of camp.
I appreciate you both. Bottle of lightning? She pulls a bottle of lightning out of her now nearly empty bag.
Yes, this appears to be a fun toy.
Oh, well, enjoy. Here you go. And then off I go to find the fox.
Yeah, he's easy enough to find. You can find him close to the main bonfire of the camp. With the two of the men of clay, just cuddling his ears and rubbing his tummy.
There you are, little fox.
Oh,
However, I
hello.
need you to turn into your proper form.
Oh, but pet time.
But I would like you to put these boots on and stop getting hit quite so often.
Oh, okay. I'll pop back into my kitsune form.
I will hand him the pair of athlete's boots.
Ooh, these are nice. You don't have to like activate anything with these, right?
Only invest in them like all other magic items of any merit.
I think these will do great then. Thank you. And I'll put
Have
them
you
on.
seen our fearless leader? Have you sniffed
Um,
her out recently?
Maybe. Let me check. I look around and smell around.
Right. Well, you can try to track her if you want to.
Yeah. What do you want me to roll?
I'm gonna need a survival check from you then. Yeah. What she's done obviously is walk through all of the spice rack areas where the chefs are working after the ones that have been trained in Greenhill, and you actually lose her trail walking through past a couple of big bags of black pepper.
No, sorry. There's just too much around here.
Ah, well, her loss, I suppose.
And I give a big sneeze as I smell the pepper.
Speaking of Marisol, what is she doing currently?
She is looking around, wearing her cloak, covering her head, and walking towards the captain's tent of the other camp to seek out Walter.
Yeah. She finds him sitting outside the tent, smoking a pipe, reading in a spell book.
Hi.
Ah, it is you. I'd hope to see you again before we assault tomorrow.
Yeah, I expected I wouldn't be able to sleep much anyway.
Well, he gives her a sly grin. I can't think of other things for us to do than sleep.
I was hoping you'd say that. And then I'll just follow him inside the tent.
There we are. And with that, we're going to take a 10-minute break so that people can do bio and refill coffee and that sort of thing. And we will be back with you in 10.
inside, tore my mind, stole my peace. I prayed for ease but feared that my days were over. That emptiness is hard to pass. To fill that gap, you need to open up. All your days are over. But you sent your light to be found now. It's like my engines overflow, and I'm fueled, it's time to go. Oh, we are in this rush, it's love in the fast lane. I feel I'm strong beyond belief, and this is happening to me. I'm shouting, oh, there's a rush, it's love in the fast lane. I finally found my love. I finally found my love. Sometimes I recall, repeat it all, the hopelessness, the bitter taste of fear, that my days were over. But you sent your light to find me. It's like my engines overflow, and I'm fueled, it's time to go. Oh, we are in this rush, it's love in the fast lane. I feel I'm strong beyond belief, and this is happening to me. I'm shouting, oh, there's a rush, it's love in the fast lane. I finally found my love. I finally found my love. I finally found my love. My love, my love. Give it one try, you will see. If you give it away, you'll be free tonight. It's like my engines overflow, and I'm fueled, it's time to go. Oh, we are in this rush, it's love in the fast lane. I feel I'm strong beyond belief, and this is happening to me. I'm shouting, oh, there's a rush, it's love in the fast lane. I finally found my love. I finally found my love. I finally found my love.
Wog indeed.
And we are back. So it is the next morning when Zara finally finds Marisol standing about an hour after daybreak, just piling on some eggs and fried green tomatoes and sausage onto her plate in the mess tent.
There you are.
Hmm?
You know, for being our leader that we're supposed to be able to like communicate with when things go wrong and whatnot, you can be very difficult to find.
Difficult? Me?
Anyways, I have
having-
their spoils from when we contributed to the evening escapades the other night.
Oh, cool.
Of those things, I think that this war horn and these goggles would be of most use to you.
I
The
take a
war
look.
horn, because well, they like to attack you, and having some ghostly protectors should be quite useful.
Indeed.
And then the goggles, because well, you are the most skilled in finding people.
Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm. There's a palpable sense of excitement now that you're ready to. You know that the day has arrived. You will be assaulting Ravensbridge. Codin and Walther come up to you in your own command and planning tent once everybody's eaten. Both of them nod politely as they walk in. You can see she's now wearing heavy plate armor, and she's picked up a wicked-looking two-handed axe somewhere. He looks pretty much the same as he's always been, except he's got a couple more wands in his belt. See, come up to Marisol and both nod, like, well, Captain Barlow. Karin says, you have a plan for this assault? I assume the Night Stalkers will want to be in the vanguard? Or do you have anything more sneaky set up?
Well, we're gonna try to get over here. And I assume we have got a better map now.
Not really, no. He did manage to destroy most of the maps.
Well, can I have the bad one then?
You're gonna have to use your imagination, because I didn't save that one after making it last time.
Well, as you know, the main army will reach here. And we are gonna try to scale the wall here to get into this lane with the ghosts. We think we have what we need to get over it, with all of us at least. Particularly when people are quite busy here because of, the main army.
All right, it'll take some time for the rest of the mercenaries to get the gates open and back you up. You'll be on your own for maybe 20, 30 minutes.
Yes, but hopefully we will be able to use those minutes well.
Very well.
I was planning on making a stone bridge over the gate.
Well, in that case, our two companies at least should be able to join you in the initial assault. We'll bring only our veterans, the ones that have at least some chance of contributing in any sort of meaningful way fighting incorporeal creatures. So anybody with divine connection, spellcasters,
That's nice.
that sort of thing. Not too many magical weapons spread out throughout our companies. We're common mercenaries after all, not thrill-seeking shock troopers like you are, but we'll contribute where we can. Yeah? You'll need to call out targets or other objectives, and we'll do what we can do.
Perfect.
Just hope the weather doesn't get any worse. She looks out through the tent flap at the rapidly darkening skies and growing cloud cover. Is that normal? She says, points up to. You can see some like dark purplish streaks going through some of the clouds in almost like a rhythmic heartbeat fashion.
Definitely not.
Oh yeah, that is somebody using very powerful magic, probably an 8th or 9th level spell, to make certain that the weather is going to be terrible for this fight. It's gonna be raining cats and dogs, and it's gonna be windy, and it's gonna be cold.
It looks like they're trying to throw us off. Maybe, since there's reports of vampires, give them some cover.
For a moment, both of them stop, and you can now hear the sound of fighting starting up in the distance as the vanguard troops assaulting the siege engines start their assault. There's some truly horrifying shrieks over in that way as well, otherworldly, and definitely of not of coming from any living creature.
Oh, looks like we're about to begin.
Yeah, let's eat. And she's shuffling down her food.
Yeah, eating like only a soldier in a mess hall who's just run out of time can do.
Yeah. Estrella throws a pair of boots to Zara. They are the Elvenkind boots they gave her before. Thanks for them, but I will keep mine.
Oh, more for me.
Right. So I'm assuming you all ready and just ready up and start moving up towards the gates. As you come up on one of the hills overlooking Raven's Bridge, you can see that the city is definitely seen better days. There's a lot of fires in that city, and you can see several of the tenement buildings and other tall buildings towards the lowest part of the city where merchants and travelers visit are either burnt out or just standing there with big holes in their facades from rocks or other things having been thrown at them. And it is truly impressive to see the heavy infantry of these dinosaur people, or whatever you want to call them, that are pushing into the swamps, attacking the undead without having to bother with the gas. But it is like a tiny ball of shining steel wading into an ocean of just rotting flesh and an animated bone. They're gonna have their work cut out for them there.
Well, this will be a day.
You can also see clouds of undead birds flying around, swooping down into the city, and sometimes coming up with a screaming figure that quickly gets torn to shreds by them.
Huh, well, that's new. And I hide under somebody's feet.
That's disturbing.
Aye, we want to put a stop to that.
But there are here and there coming out from the city walls down into the legions of undead or rocks and the odd fireball being thrown. Looking further, you can see that they're also throwing, well, looks like barrels, statues, just cobblestone from the roads or buildings. Pretty much anything that can be yeeted down into the undead ranks. Now that the city's defenders are seeing reinforcements come in or being thrown down at the undead there. At the feet of two of the pillars, you see huge skeletal remains. No, you have no idea what that must have been, but it must have been at least 90 feet tall. But still, even though it's assaulted the pillars of the city, it hasn't really even scratched magical stone. And in a fantastic display of violence, you can see a lightning bolt sip up from the lane you've chosen and fry an entire flying flock of birds. So just ash falls down.
Nice. Let's go help them.
Yep.
Right. The heavy infantry, they are roughly ogre-sized, these dinosaur people. You haven't cottoned on to what they actually call themselves yet. But they're definitely tough, although not too fast. But they are opening lanes through their ranks to get you and the other assault parties up onto the ramp leading towards the city gate. As you come up towards the western gate, that's the one you're planning on using. You don't see any enemies or any bodies for that reason. There's a lot of dried blood and ichor on the flagstones, but no bodies. And just before Edamir starts casting a spell, the city gates sort of just creak open and swing up.
Huh.
That's
don't know
not
if I
scary
trust
at
this.
all.
Looks like someone is welcoming us in.
Aye, but why? It's too easy.
I mean, we know who it is. It's gotta be Cal.
Could be.
That's the part that worries me.
Of course. So, I must say no to the gate and cast my wall of stone anyway. And make a
Alright.
ramp leading up and over and down.
Okay, give us a caster check.
Caster check.
As that wall of stone connects with the city walls, you can feel some sort of innate counter magic trying to push back against you.
Plus my plus 17.
31. It's holding, but it's not going to hold for very long. You got maybe 30 seconds.
Oh. Well, looks like we're going over the gate, or through the gate.
You can already see where the wall of stone touches the city walls, starting to crumble.
Well, it's now or never, people.
Going towards the gates.
Huzzah!
I'm
Well-
doing my best to keep an eye out for shadow bears and people.
Gotcha. Give me a perception check, sir. Well, you will. You can see.
Sorry, that was Arcana.
You can see that you shouldn't be trusting the shadows too much. There's nothing moving in there right now, but in the corners and in the alleyways and everywhere where the shadows are stronger, you can see a lot of weapons and gear just lying around. No bodies, but piles of spears and shields. The odd helmet. And to your surprise, in one of the corners, a stuffed toy that looks a lot like Edamir.
I want to move in the shadows as much as possible. I can sneak with full speed, so I will not fall behind the others.
Right, give us your sneak then. Oh! Yeah, Estrella just woof, disappears. You have no idea where she is most of the time until whenever she pops by and pops back and to give you a sign. And the same thing happens with Zara. Once or twice, they even scare the crap out of each other by appearing at the same time, very close to each other, not knowing the other one was there to give you directions. You know where the Rusty Brass Pot Inn is. It's only about 120 feet from the city gates, so we are going to go over to the map. And sneaking up, Estrella can see some sort of, well, it's hard to say exactly what, a machine of sorts, you think. Oh, my fancy grounds is being all weird again. Lovely. Let me get a picture up here for you. Walking around, you can see it's sort of jittery and on the fritz, it seems. Tall, maybe 3-meter creature, but gangly, with long, multicolored syringes for fingers and just a brain floating in glass with a pair of eyeballs. Walking around on the perimeter. It seems to be walking in a circle around the Rusty Brass Pot Inn.
Now that's just weird.
That ain't no family of mine.
That's disgusting.
I would like to do my esoteric lore on it.
Go ahead, sir. Let me just find this thingamajigger. Let's see. Not there, not there. There we are. Yeah, you recognize that as a... it's one of the more uncommon types of golem. The alchemical golem. This thing is immune to, well, acid, bleed, death effects, disease, doom, drain, fatigue, healing, most magic, mental, necromancy, non-lethal attacks, paralyzed, poisoned, sickened, and unconscious. In addition to having a gnarly physical resistance to everything except adamantine or bludgeoning. Because it's pretty frail, you can just smash it to bits, but trying to slash or pierce it is going to be somewhat pointless. Of course, being an alchemical creature, being close to this thing, if somebody hits it real hard, will probably get you splattered with one of the types of alchemical goo. It's filled with all sorts of different elemental damages and poisonous stuff, or just weird shit that'll make you sick. It's immune to almost all spells, but it is harmed by sonic damage, slowed by cold, and healed by acid. And the shatter spell as well will work normally on it.
Well, these are going to be a fun thing to fight.
Question is do we actually fight this? Is this actually part of the army or defending?
Well, I think we can assume that it won't let us just pass.
I doubt it.
I mean, the gate opened.
Yes, it did.
Maybe this thing will just let us walk right in.
I mean, it's not a ghost that we were expecting.
The thing with ghosts is that they're pretty hard to see. Like you. She's talking the wrong way considering where you should be.
Oh,
Do you think that thing counts as living or dead?
No idea. Is it reacting to us at all?
Constructed.
it's not reacting to you at all, and it doesn't take you long to see why. You can see 3 of the shadows just moving out of the darkness, come up and try to attack it, and it's you can see it trying to defend itself, but they don't really seem to have any effective way of damaging each other.
Well, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Something like that.
Hopefully.
Well, if they keep each other busy, perhaps we could sneak in past them.
Or we could help it.
Without whoever made it nearby, it'll just start swinging at us, I suspect.
Who's to say that they're not nearby?
If they were, the shadows would attack them, I'm certain.
It depends. Whoever made it could be inside the inn itself. Only one way to find out.
I mean, if someone could build something like that, I'm sure that they could, like, scry or something to see it.
Either way, we can't stand here and debate. As a war on, go.
Well, whatever that is, we should probably try to not let it come too close.
Well, fearless leader, what are we doing?
Can we sneak past them?
You asking me? Only one way to find out.
No, I'm asking the other people that aren't as sneaky as some of them are.
I mean, full plate armor. I don't sneak too well.
That's what I was afraid of.
We can
Don't
give it a
anyone
shot.
have a group sneak that can lead us?
Not really.
No group sneakers.
Well, then it's either we attack them here now and let them come to us, or we will just try and then take whatever happens if they attack.
I could try to give you some hints about sneaking, but not more.
Yodi could make him invisible.
He would still make sounds.
They are pretty distracted. I do not think they will come to the sounds while they're fighting.
This is a point. Are you willing to try, Magnus?
Aye. If it gets us to the end without too much trouble, I'll try anything.
Okay, we're gonna move you in initiatives then. The first one on the list is actually Marisol.
I'm gonna wait until either Zara or Estrella has moved so that I can see where they are moving and learn from them.
Very well. Next one's Preacher.
Well, I'll sneak out, and since sneak in my case means that I can only move, I think it's half of my regular movement.
That should be correct, yes. Goes for everybody except Estrella, I think. And maybe
Yes.
Zara, because you never know with her.
Zara can also move full speed sneaking.
Yeah, of course you can.
That means I can only do this range.
Right. Give us your stealth roll.
Yes, sir.
Sneakity, sneakity, sneakity.
Ooh.
Ooh. Preacher sneaking up, and all the three shadows go. And are starting to move towards him.
Oh, so much for plan A.
That takes us to Estrella.
Estrella will try to keep in the shadows a little bit longer, moving up to here.
Right. Give us your sneak roll then.
New sneak, okay.
Well, pretty certain nobody sees her. Takes us to Zara. Oh, yeah. Pretty certain you're invisible. Then again, you never know when sneaking, do you?
Then I'm gonna sneak after Zara.
Okay. Yeah, Marisol sneaks up after Zara, doing a fine old job, although she can only get half of that move. That was 15, so you would have 30 more if you use all 3 actions to sneak.
There we go.
For my third action, I am going to do an esoteric lore as well. On the
Ah,
shadow.
I forgot I could move a third time. Only moved twice.
can't remember too much about those shadows on the go, but they are harmed by any light source. Can be used to smack him as if it was a magical weapon. Okay, Edamir.
Yeah, I'm going to start snaking and then realize I can only move like 10 feet and say, screw this, and just start moving up.
Gotcha. That is one move. The move.
I'll stay there. Roran will. Let's see. Yeah, that's. Oh,
Warren just starts yeeting his ass up over that courtyard. Cloppity 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 clop.
and he's large size.
I'll see if the game lets me change that. It does. Nice.
Hey.
And sometimes doesn't. But today it was feeling kind.
And that'll be my turn.
That takes us to Mado.
Alrighty. Let's see. I'm going to 2 movements heading up toward the shadows, then brace.
Gotcha.
And then I'll brace.
Right. What weapon are you carrying right now?
I'm using the magical glaive right now.
The glaive. Gotcha. Odie.
Okay. Well, since the jig is up and all that, I will attempt to move myself. I'll use 2 moves to go there.
Very well. Up behind the Mador.
And I will pull out my wand for next turn.
Gotcha.
Manifold missile.
That takes us to these shadows. Now, of course, sensing life, the shadows are just going to jump closest thing. In this case, Roran. That's going to be an attack of opportunity for Roran, no. That is a miss. Let's see. Then this shadow is going to be inappropriately touching Roran. For a that is a miss. Actually, misses with the first attempt, and misses with the second attempt. This other shadow here, yep, moves up to Roran. It's gonna try to touch him. Now with flank. Come on, Fancy Grounds, you know you want to. There we are. Also fails at touching him. Third shadow flies up. Tries to touch Roran twice. Swiping its shadowy claws at him. With very little success. None of them actually managed to... They touch Roran, but his life energy is just so burning so strong and bright that they can't really hurt him with their shadowy shenanigans. That takes us to Magnus.
Magnus sees the shadows react and goes, bugger it, and just sprints up in Preach's direction.
Oh, Magnus rolled a 1 on his initiative, in case anyone's counting ones this session, so it's a good start.
And 3 moves. That's Magnus' turn.
Cannot see the moves you want to be doing. Fancy Grounds being fancy groundsy. It's a good thing we're on Twitch, so we're used to things being twitchy. Magnus wants to move 3 moves. That's going to be 75 feet towards Preacher.
3 squares to the right of Preacher. Yeah, about there.
Yep, that's where you can get with 75 move. Right, and then, untis, and so on. Where the heck are you hiding? Oh, the joys of having things that are hard to see as is being invisible. Coming up out of the ground, you can see the ghostly image of a gnome in typical wizard's clothing. Ooh, he says.
Ooh, back.
He's just gonna fly up a bit. Flies up into the darkest area of the city square you're on. And he's probably gonna do something interesting. Let's see, what can this bro do? Not a
Ghostly
whole,
alchemical bombs.
Not a whole ton. He's gonna raise his shield. And then, stepping out of the wall, you see your old friend. Except she's carrying a bastard sword now instead.
But look what the cat dragged in.
Points her sword at Mador and goes, "They've fallen into the trap. Now you'll join my legions, whether you want to or not." And then she comes flying up. Whoop. She seems to have a light source on her. That's interesting. Very well. Again, coming up out of the ground, you see another horrific creature. This ghost seems a lot wetter and colder than the rest. You can see a lot of ichor and other flying, other undeadly goodness drop from it as it pops up and actually yeets. This thing is much, much faster than the other ghosts when it comes to flying. Have you in actual squares, please? There we are. Flies down to Roran and tries to touch him. That is a hit, so that is 19 negative energy to Roran, and I need a DC 29 fortitude save from him as well. He succeeds, but he is grabbed and constricted by this creature.
All right.
That takes us to Marisol.
Yeah, well, I'll just sink to my knees then and take a deep breath. Does any one of these things look solid at all? No.
Yeah, the golem.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it, though.
Well, I'll take a deep breath. I'll aim my royal slug rifle directly at the brain.
Very well. That is a critical.
Plus for the first shot with this rifle at that enemy.
Oh, so that is a good solid 52 damage. Yep. You see the glass casing around the brain cracks, but doesn't shatter. But one of the vials on it explodes from the force of it,
It's 62.
and you can see acid splatter onto the cobblestone, not doing anything to the magical cobblestone in the city, but running around like water on linoleum. Okay, the golem, of course.
Then I'll start aiming again.
Right. The golem does not really appreciate this sort of shenanigans whatsoever. You can see now that around Kalasir's head, there's sort of a blue purplish corona that also shows up around the golem brain as it moves down and starts attacking Roran. And then it's going to try to inject him with its syringe. That is a hit for 14 piercing and 8 cold. And it tries to inject him again, but this time he dodges it. Last but not least, or at least not last, not least either, but yeah, yar! That's a ghostly pirate appears and starts flying down towards you. And that takes us to Preacher.
Wow. All right. Well, I kick off with doing my inner fire, so I get a little extra movement and prepare for combat. Then I'll try and move up, and I'll actually be reaching the corner there with one move, so I'll have one action left.
Huzzah!
Which means I can do a flurry of blows on that one.
On this shadow. Very
Yep.
well.
Switching to the right page. There we go. I'm going to attempt a combat grab. I don't know if I can. I have Ghost Touch, so let's see.
Oh.
First strike. Probably not.
That is a miss, yes.
Second attack.
Second attack's a hit.
Okay, that's a regular one though. Do you have Ghost Touch and Adamantine,
Ah, shiny.
as well as a little bit of electricity going into him? Let's see if that does anything.
The electricity doesn't seem to do anything, but the Ghost Touch punch in itself definitely does a lot. This thing seems, if a shadow could be surprised, it probably would be. From the fact that you just came up and punched it.
He also takes 2 fire, if that is interesting.
It's a handy piece of information to have, at least. All right. Estrella.
Yeah. I'm using 3 actions to sneak up to the wall here.
Not showing me where you actually want to go.
All right. So you see this?
For a
Honey.
moment, I did. Ah, there we are. Yes. Nyum.
Thank you.
There we are. Estrella out sneaking, being all sneak fad. Very nice. Okay, then it is Zara's turn. Zara, baby.
Zara is going to use 2
There we
actions
are.
to move up here.
Nyum.
Still
Zara is
sneaking right
sneaky.
along.
Yeah, give us another sneak roll, stealth roll. Being all stealth-fied, trying to stealth past people who are actively looking for enemies. Pretty certain nobody spotted you on account of nothing horrible happening to you yet.
And then I will use an esoteric lore on the Ghost Mage.
Go for it. Well, this thing is immune to the usual undead things: death, effects, disease, poison, paralyzed, poison, precision, poison, unconscious, and poison. But it's got resistances to pretty much everything except force, ghost touch, or positive. And it's got double resistances versus non-magical. So a non-magical item would be, you'd have to shoot it with a trebuchet to hope to actually disrupt it any. Otherwise, it's probably a ghostly wizard with spells.
Well, it is now weak to me.
Ooh.
And that'll be the end of my turn.
Can't resist Sora's beautiful blue eyes. That brings us to Edamir.
But she's got gray eyes.
It's colorblind.
Okay. I will move there
Gotcha.
and cast Disrupt Undead on the guy that's grappling Roar.
Oh, go for it. Is that a touch or is it a save?
It's a Fortitude save.
Fortitude save. And the DC would be
27.
So that is a failed save. Ooh, yeah, this thing
Positive damage.
This thing actually takes a lot of damage from that. Does not seem like it enjoys positive damage very much at all. And let's go, Auroran.
And Roran will attempt to bite him.
Omnivore. Let's see. I think that's it, but we're gonna double check that. It is not. That is a miss.
And again.
And another miss.
And that'll be it.
Mador, it is your turn, sir. Roran's not a Death Eater, turns out.
Right. In range, I can strike with a polearm.
See, that should be... That's going to be in range, yeah. To smack the either a shade or the golem.
I'll go for the shade.
Gotcha. That's a hit.
Wrong tool, wrong weapon, sorry.
That's fine. Yep, it is obviously resistant to being smacked with this glaive, but you're still hurting it. You're hitting it hard enough to damage its essence, even if it's a shadow, and it's very hard to find a vital organ on anything without organs.
And I'm switching to the spare and ready.
Gotcha. Eody. Neody, what's his name, Mo?
Yes. If Fantasy Realms let me do anything, hold on.
Yeah, I've got that big old issue myself.
And now it's like lagged me so that I'm doing like 105 movement. I want to move 2 squares below where Medora is.
Yep.
This thing's freaking out today.
You're just gonna pop by the neighboring campaign on the way.
Yeah, I just, saying hello and all that.
You've gotten yourself a locust battle mech.
I will tap Medora on the shoulder and I will cast haste on him.
Ooh. Namador is like greased lightning.
And that is my turn.
Right. The shadows. The one closest to Preacher is going to try to touch him because the core of him burns very interestingly to this creature. And it actually crit fails, so Preacher gets himself an attack of opportunity.
Well, thank you.
And misses. Dang.
Surprise.
You don't see that going. Don't see that happening too often. The other shadow here is going to keep going at Roran. Touchy. Nope. Nope. And that's an attack of opportunity for Roran. And the third one. That's a hit.
Oh,
Yeah, this thing actually got pretty severely injured by Roran biting it, it seems.
yeah, it's a small area bludgeoning damage.
Nom nom. The last one here is going to float down towards Mador, so he gets an attack of opportunity.
That's with the flaming spare.
Yes. Go for it, sir. Roll your damage. Yeah, this thing, the flaming spear seems much more effective against this thing. You're not entirely certain what's the dealio with the spear, but it seems to be hitting the ghost as if it was a fully fully manifested fleshy being. Magnus.
Magnus will step up behind the Preacher, and then he looks towards the Lorona and casts Disrupt Undead.
Right. What's Magnus's save difficulty?
You need a DC 27.
Ooh, that is a critical success. Lorona is completely unaffected.
I think that's Magnus's turn as well.
All right. And the next one. Now, the Ghost Mage. Woo! I am Lispooky. Woo. He's gonna fly very quickly up. There. I believe. Yes. Woo! Fear me! It screams, and then it casts a cone of cold. Let's see, 60-foot cone, so that's going to be hitting Preacher, Magnus, Mador, Eodi, Edamir, and Roran.
And all the bad guys, too.
All the bad guys as well. That is entirely correct, sir. That is entirely correct. And that is going to be a, what's the spells here? DC 29.
Reflex.
Reflex save. Thank you, Mr. Eodi.
I have that spell.
Ooh.
So close to Preacher being immune. Those who successfully saved take 22 cold damage. And those who did not successfully save take 44 cold damage as the Arctic cold of that spell washes over you. You can see the shadows are severely injured, but the Lorona and the alchemical golem seem to not care.
I reduce that by 4.
Copy that, sir. Huh, one of the shadows is actually destroyed by the enemy spell there.
What level of the magic was this?
Excuse me. That is a spell
It's a 5th level spell.
of the level 5. Thank you, Yori.
Okay.
Right. Calisier goes, Abomination! You are neither alive nor dead. You shouldn't exist. And she charges Preacher. You are an abomination in the eyes of the mistresses. And she swings Lynhog after him, and I believe she hits. That she does.
Oh.
Slashing him for 19.
Interesting. I further reduced that by 5, given that I have a arcane safeguard that gives me hit points temporarily.
Interesting.
So that's another 19.
And then it went, Lorona wails everybody within 120. So that is everybody. Needs to give me a DC 31 will save.
Any assistance from Magnus?
Not versus this. It's not a fair effect. It's a mental effect. In case anybody's immune to that sort of shenanigans.
We all fail.
Is Zara in range of this?
Yes, she is.
What was the DC again?
31.
Oh.
So, let us see. 31. Didn't anybody roll less than a 21? Yes, Mador, Yodi, Edamir. Sorry, it's not actually not affected. So, goddamn fly. That is a stunned 1 to everybody that failed. In addition, the ones that crit failed, which would be Mador, Iodi, and Edamir, have a just an intense wish to go drown themselves in water
Nice.
models by the walls. So boom, 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 boom. I'm
sorry.
not going to put out all these stuns. We'll just remember that everybody has one action less this turn.
Sorry, Magnus hasn't rolled.
Yes. Give us a roll for Magnus as well. Yep. Magnus also wants to go drown himself.
One action less. I thought stunned is complete loss of turn.
No, it's stunned 1, so it's not complete stun. It's just a minor. It's a minor stun, mini stun, if you will.
Because the stun condition says you can't act at all while stunned.
Yeah, this one, however, doesn't do the full
Oh wait, no.
stunned.
Yep.
It does say stunned 1, so it takes 1 action away. The bigger issue is, of course, that you're going to have to use your actions to go find somewhere to drown yourself. It is now Marisol's turn.
Oh wow, I really hated that.
Weird that.
Let's see. But still, I am aiming at the golem.
That you are. That, let's check here. That's it. $15 damage. Yep, it's starting to show cracks.
And then I'll aim at Calasir attacking my spotter.
Very well. Your spotter's like, she's here, shoot her.
Oh yeah.
Basically.
Right in front of me. Get her in the dome.
And I miss.
Yep. You know, you should have known Calasir would get her shield up. That just careens off of her shield.
Well, I tried.
The golem is going to keep going for Roran. That is a critical miss, so that's an attack of opportunity for Roran.
He won't take it.
Very well. And is that a miss or a hit? That's a miss. And a miss. The golem's just kind of flailing at Roran. Can't really get its syringes through its thick hide. Roran hates getting stuck with needles. The ghost pirate captain. Yar! Yeah. He's gonna be shooting his at my door. Ghostly hand crossbow. Join me, crew lad. I'll make you rich and dead and deadly rich. But all 3 shots kind of just clang ineffectively off of Mador's armor, and it's now Preacher's turn.
Okay. Gonna have to look up one thing to try before I do it. There we go. Well, I spend my first turn being, oh, what the hell happened? And then I'll try and hit Alazir using a key point, because that's always goes so well. So I gather up a little extra energy and try and smack her.
Never seen the key points go wrong.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. So first attempt is a grab.
That is a critical hit.
That's a critical hit, and that's a grab, so she's actually flat-footed if I manage to hold on to her.
Right, and that is an athletics roll from you versus her.
Nope,
That's
nothing.
athletics, isn't it?
Well, yeah, okay, if she wants to break free, yes, but that's on her turn.
Yeah, that's on her turn. Gotcha.
So, first of all, the critical.
Smacker.
And that's an extra 2d6, which is a positive damage.
Ooh.
I can grab the d6. Come on, Fancy Grounds. Why are you being like this?
Yeah, he smacks Calisir good. You can see blood pouring from her nose.
Add to that 2 fire, and well, if I keep holding on to her, she's gonna keep burning.
Very well.
Strike 2 on the flurry. So this should be at a lesser to hit, but that probably doesn't matter.
Flurry? No, both strikes on the flurry are at the same to hit.
True, it's the second one that counts as a flat foot.
Hmm.
Marisol, does the spotter effect for me count if you hit or if you just shoot at the target?
It count if I hit, so I get the bonus damage now since you hit.
Okay.
And if I hit the next round, you get the bonus damage for all my die next round.
Well,
Right. Then I
with
have
her-
1 blow left.
Wait,
And
with her being flat-footed, and that one's a hit,
very
and
nice.
so's the last one.
And the extra positive energy goes in too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's me done.
You got 2 more hits.
No, he's,
No, I lost the stun first action.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Did a flurry of blows and 1 extra hit.
Yeah, she looks at Preacher, tears streaming from her eyes, terrified look on her face. I'm like, Preacher, it's me. You're mind controlled. Snap out of it. I'm your friend. And that takes us over to Estrella.
Yes, and sadly, Cal has blocked the space she wanted to sneak through, so now she is going to try to acrobatic over her.
Very well. Yeah, smartly jumps and gets 1 foot down on Preacher's shoulder to propel herself forward, because there wouldn't have been anything there if she tried to use Cal as a springboard, but she does get past.
So I get there, and I really want to reduce the number of enemies, and I think the Shadow already got some damage in, and
That-
looks like he has Cal in a good grip. So I'm going to attack the Shadow, and my Sword Cane has Ghost Touch.
Oh. And that's a critical.
Sweet. So that is this. My sneak got also double or not? I forgot.
Can't remember, but double sounds cool, so we'll do it like that now.
So that's 46. Sneaky sneak.
Oof. Yeah. The shadow, the sword cane runs straight through it, and the shadow kind of stiffens and falls down on 2 knees, holds up both of its shadowy hands towards Estrella, and falls over as if it was a Shakespearean actor in his former life.
And that's it for my actions.
Very well. It's Zara's Zeit. And we now know sneak dice are doubled on a crit, because Zara knows, or Quinn knows rules.
Quinn Googles all the rules as they come up. Zara's going to move there. She's going to use her mirror to make a second version of herself on the other side of the ghost. No need to move me.
Gotcha.
And then she's going to apply hammer. That is a 26.
Apply hammer to front of enemy. Let's see here. Doom, 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 doom. That is a hit.
That is 25 damage, and she has ghost touch.
Right, and it's also weak to her, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's the extra,
Ah,
the 4
25,
damage
yeah.
extra.
Thank you. Yeah, that ghost mage is now smacked and looks very insulted at Zara. And that takes us to enemy.
So we have an urge to drown ourselves.
That you do.
Then I will start casting my Soothing Spring, but it has a minute-long cast time.
Very well.
Warren will attack the regular ghost in front of Medora.
Gotcha. That is a critical. You've never actually before seen a wolf eat a shadow, but there's a first time for everything. As Roran does manage to get it in his claw, in his teeth, and hold it with his paws and kind of rip it up like a dog would rip up a roll of toilet paper if it's bored.
And that'll be it.
Right. That is the healing spring.
Well, the healing spring, it has a minute-long cast time, so it's not
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
be...
But it's gonna be it's still gonna be cast even though even if he doesn't finish it. There we are. And that takes us to Mador, who
Where's
also
the
wants to
nearest?
drown himself.
Where's the nearest water bucket?
Give us a perception roll. It is up next to Estrella.
Okay, that's where I'm heading.
Yep. So Mador just runs up to the water bucket next to Estrella and just plunges his head in.
Do we
Can
have? Is this the whole game, or do we get another save?
You get a
Uh,
save at the end of your turn, so you get a save now.
Can I use a reaction to kick the water bucket away?
No.
Oh,
That was versus Will.
Yes, indeed, sir. Mador breaks the enchantment, and he can act normally next turn. And he's also sort of pissed off for a moment because there's no water in that water bucket.
I'm
Town's
also
been under siege.
hasted too. Do I get an extra attack even though I'm also hasted?
Well, it says save at end of turn, so sadly that would be when you don't have any more actions. Speaking of actions, it is Eodi's turn.
Yeah, I guess I also would like to drown myself.
That is correct, sir. Oh, Edamir, you also got a save at the end of turn there, so do that while we remember.
So, will save?
Will save, yes, sir. Yeah, he's snapped out of it as well. Yeah, Eodi sees that the water bucket up next to Mador is empty, but there's one down next to Marisol.
Okay, I will run there.
Right. Eodi kind of scrambles on top of that water bucket, and you hear a thunk as he goes down in. City's been under siege for over a week. There's no water in any of these water buckets. And he also snaps out of it. Wow, you guys' dice tried to kill you on those first saves, but the second round is working very well.
And that's my turn.
And that takes us to Magnus.
Magnus also looks around for water to duck his head in.
Right. Give us a perception. Only thing he can see is one of the wiles on that alchemical golem. He would be able to drown himself with that. If he could get it loose.
In that case, Magnus will step 15 feet towards the alchemical golem, and then he will apply the hammer.
Nope. That alchemical golem, though, is going to have advantage on him next turn, because, or bonus is it, because he's trying to drown himself. Right. This ghost mage, of course, doesn't want to be anywhere close to Zara, so it just flies 25 feet into the air. But you still
He
get your...
provoked himself an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, you get yourself that attack of opportunity. It misses, though.
Helps if I
Does
roll
it?
the right one first. That'd be
Yes.
a 27 to hit.
Yeah, that would be it, and that would be damage. Also, Magnus, remember your save.
24 damage.
Yep. And we're gonna need a DC 31 will save from Zara as this creature casts Phantasmal Killer at her. Oh dear. That is a critical fail. What's that do? Target so afraid it might die. It must attempt a fortitude save. If the target fails, it dies. On a successful fortitude save, the target takes 12d6 mental damage. Okay then, so that'd be a fortitude save from Zara. Jesus, scared the crap out of me there. She doesn't die from a heart attack, but she is going to take all of the mental damage. Zara is absolutely terrified of that phantasmal killer. That is 43 mental damage to Zara. And is fleeing until the end of its next turn and is frightened 4. Good to know. Man, your saves are kind of a hit or miss here today. But Zara did survive one of the very few effects that can just straight up kill a character. So that is always a good thing. However, she is terrified out of her little space boots right now. Frightened 4. Excuse me. Let me fiddle with effects. There we are. Fancy grounds being fancy groundsy. Okay. That was definitely a thing. Calisir Death Axe. She's going to try to break free of Preacher's hold. Come on, there we are. So that is a 23 on her athletics. Preacher, I guess, gets a roll towards it.
I'm not entirely certain how this how this occurs. If it's just a flat check or if it's versus.
It's a 10 versus his athletics, I think. So she'd have to beat a 32, meaning she is still very much stuck.
Okay, nice.
And having done that, she fumbles for her clan dagger. Can't actually find it.
She's actually immobilized, so she can't actually do anything except try and escape, I think.
She can still
I
swing
think
at
it's a
you.
-5 to manipulate items.
She can just straight up still attack you. She's not restrained. She's only immobilized.
Okay.
She can't move.
Yeah,
She can
immobilized
attack
but
you all
not
she wants.
incapacitated. And that is a hit with her bastard sword as she tries to take Preacher's hand off to get him to let go of her for 19 slashing damage.
Ow.
This Lorona, she wants herself a piece of Calisir, and is going to try to grab her. But Estrella, I mean, not Calisir. The other Shion character. She does touch Estrella and grab her. That's 13 negative energy. Estrella is now restrained, so she can't move, and it's going to try to touch her again and again. That is one more hit for 15 damage, and I'm going to need a DC 29, 2 DC 29 fortitude saves from Estrella. That's a fail and a fail. So Estrella is now drained 4 as the Lorona starts pulling her life energy out of her. There we go. Excellent. Which takes us to the alchemical golem, which is going to try to smack Magnus around. Hit. Hit. And a hit. So that is a total of 32, carry the 5. 42, 43 piercing damage and 32 fire damage as it injects him with some sort of napalm. The ghost pirate.
How much the injected damage?
43 plus 32 for a total of 75. The ghost pirate captain goes, you seem like you'll be a good fight. And as he flies up to Mador. Mador gets an attack of opportunity, by the way, because he flies into your range of attack. Okay. That's a critical.
That's with a spare.
Yep, give us your critical with the spare, sir. Wow, the amount of ones on that damage is just straight up impressive. Still, though, he gets smacked pretty good by Mador. He's going to try to return the favor by swinging his cutlass.
I do have a shield raised,
Question?
so my armor class is up, don't forget.
Yep.
Question?
Yes,
Didn't
sir.
he just do a critical with a polearm? Doesn't that mean that he actually stopped?
No, it's with a spare. I got the spare.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the spare now. He hits Mador once.
The crit still interrupts the action because of attack of opportunity.
Oh, well, ain't that handy. In that case, he's going to stop 10 feet away from Mador and just swing his cutlass in the air. Yeesh. Sweep, sweep. Speaking of sweeping and successes, it is Preacher's turn. He might
It is
sweep
time
leg.
to rest, Cal. And I hammer again with the.
Shouldn't it be me?
Yeah, we skipped Marisol.
Yes, we have skipped Marisol. It is Marisol's turn first. My bad.
Out of my sleeve comes my Iris of the Sky.
Very well.
I swear to hit Kalizir.
That is a hit, since she is immobile or flat-footed, but not a critical.
In addition, how many dice did Preacher roll against her last round?
Why are you asking me?
I'm not asking you. I'm asking Preacher.
Let's see what Preacher finds out.
How many damage dice? Or just attack rolls?
Damage dice.
Oh my god.
I heard her say yes, but Discord didn't pick it up.
8, 10.
15.
15. Yeah.
Plus 15 then.
So 28, 30 damage total. Kalizir Death Axe starting to be damaged.
Which means that you also do 4 more damage if you hit her next round.
And now it's Preacher's turn.
Cal, it's time to rest. And I hit her with another key point strike.
Very well.
And I'll get off with another flurry of blows. Yeah.
Oh. Those are 2 criticals.
And positive life force coming in. +4, +2 fire.
All right. And then you have another critical as well.
Yep.
That is a lot of damage in one go. Well over 100 damage with 2 hits. Yeah, Cal staggers back. He grins up at the Preacher like, "You think this is over? I'll be back. What? What's no? No!" And she's pulled into his 2 gloves And Preacher can kind of hear her in the back of his head, like, "No, let me out!"
Oh, this will be interesting. All right. New enemy. Turn around. A little bit shocked. There's a blue thing trying to attack Estrella.
Yes, the Lorona still trying to deal with or drown Estrella.
Then I'll try and get to that person thing. Do you have to step in here?
I'm gonna say no. You can punch it from where you are.
Okay. In that case, it's gonna be 2 attacks. Both of them are key strikes. Whoa, well, that's the first one.
Yeah. First one,
There we
Preacher, give us a DC 20 athletics to not end up on your ass from that critical failure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Preacher punches at it, overbalances, manages to do a flip, land on his feet, but he has wasted his second attack, but he is not flat-footed.
I'm done.
Estrella, Ella.
Well, I was debating about who to attack next. I had a volunteer before the other one was disintegrated. So he has it coming for him.
Okay. I still have no idea who you're talking about.
Yeah, he was grabbing me, huh?
Oh, yes, the Lorona. Very well. First one is definitely a miss. Estrella kind of just... Second... Lorona is hard to hit. That might be a miss, actually. Wait. She has flanking, so that is going to be a hit.
Nice. And with flanking, that also means I got this one. Remember that it is a ghost touch weapon.
Yeah. Pokes the Lorona in the kidney it no longer has.
And then, with my last action, I want to try to break free from it.
Very well. That's going to be a DC 33 escape artist. She does break free. She wriggles herself out of the... Feels like the Lorona's got some wet, like bed sheets or something that it's trying to strangle her with, but she wriggles herself out of it. That takes us to Sara.
Well, she is going to run away.
And when Sara decides to run away, she can really put a move on.
That was only 2 actions, so for her last one, she's going to try to hide in a corner.
Right. Give us a stealth check. Well, pretty certain she's stealthed. Sits down next to a table that's been thrown over and pulls the tablecloth over her head. Nobody can see me if I can't see them. It is now Edemir's turn.
I will cast my focus spell, Heal Animal.
Yeah.
And Roran will take an attack against the golem.
Right. Before that, you notice now that the golem has started acting completely differently now that Estrella is no longer there controlling it.
Roran will take an attack against the ghost then.
Handy dandy.
Nope.
Right.
So that's it for me.
Then it's the 31. Now with flanking. That's gonna be a hit.
Huh. In that case, then I'm going to use his advanced maneuver and automatically prone it if it can be proned.
It's ethereal. Although that's a
Thanks.
very good question. The Lorona actually has. I gotta check an ability here because it can grapple, even though it's ethereal, which means it might actually be able to be grappled back as well. Yep, I'm gonna say it can be grappled back as well. So it is now.
And that'll be my turn.
Shiny and or chrome. Speaking of shiny and chrome, it's Yodi's turn.
Yes. I am going to use the Wand of Manifold Missiles and do a 3 cast on the mage in the back that just blasted Zara.
Very well. Pew 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 pew.
If it would let me. Here we go.
$10 damage. To the Ghost Mage. Very well. And that takes us to Magnus.
Magnus is still trying to drown himself, so he's going to go after that spot on the golem.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh. Right. That Warhammer ends up lying on Roran's head as he yeets it off when he tries to strike.
Okay, Magnus will use his last action to lay hands on himself.
Oh, no. He's focused on drowning himself. Laying hands doesn't help with that.
Oh, well, in that case, he's going to try and grapple the golem then.
Gotcha. What's your athletics? That would be a fail. Give us a save versus suicidal ideations.
Save against what?
Wanting to drown yourself.
Will save. There we go.
Nope. He is still affected by the Lorona. The Ghost Mage goes, The General! They have disbanded her! We must flee! And then it flies off. Off the map. And so does the Lorona. It's Marisol's turn.
Yeah. We only have the captain left, don't we? Although someone should definitely try to save Magnus from himself.
Yeah, does Roran get an attack of opportunity on the Lorona?
Actually, both he and Mador and Preacher would get an attack of opportunity on the Lorona.
Uh-oh. Preacher is not going to do anything because Fancy Grants decided to stop working.
Oh, lovely. In that case, I'll do it for Preacher.
It's 36 a hit.
That is a hit, sir. $17 damage from Mador. And 17 damage from Preacher. The Lorona is injured, but it's not dead as it flies off. You could potentially get a shot at it, Marisol, but it's at 180 feet currently. So that'd probably be one range increment for you.
Yeah, I'll take that. Mm, and with my sniping, I ignore the first range increment.
Oh, my fancy grounds is also being all weird.
Mine just froze
Mine
also.
too.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't get my there with buzz after a while. 33 to hit.
That's it.
Struggling today.
Yeah, it is on the struggle bus today. And Marisol's last shot there disperses the Lorona, and it screams as it dissipates into the air. The ghost pirate captain tips his hat before flying off. Yeet.
After I shoot, I say, "Someone save Magnus from himself," as he's still trying to dunk his head into the.
As the Lorona has been destroyed, he now no longer is trying to drown himself. But yeah, the door to the inn smacks open, and you can see a gnome with a turban come running out and like, they didn't destroy it. They didn't destroy it. See, Janjit, I told you it would be fine. And out behind him steps a stunningly good-looking lady with goat legs and horns, but dressed in some tribesman-looking leather armor on the arms and upper body, carrying a huge club with what looks like a cackling goat head on the end. Very well, Zaru, I owe you 2 beers and a trip to the amusement park. But now, let's get them inside before another wave comes. And as we are over time and Fancy Grounds is being all sorts of wonky right now, that is where we're going to end the session for today. We'll be back next Sunday with more Night Stalkers. But for now, we'll let Tulmar find somebody to raid. Y'all stay safe, stay healthy, and be well, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a great
Bye.
week.
Bye.